Hey guys, how y'all doing? How's your week been? Mine's been super busy. Um, After tomorrow, I will have worked 7 days in a row. Plus, I gotta work all of next week, so that's actually gonna be more than 7 days in a row. So I'm sorry I have been busy, but if you're doing everything by yourself, you gotta kind of chase that money, and a stable job is where the money's at right now. So that's what I've been doing. So the videos have been a little sporadic this week, but I am back today. It's also been kind of chilly this week. And I believe it's supposed to be chilly next week as well. I hope fall's not coming early. I really do. I hate the cold weather, but that's what it's looking like. That we're already heading into fall and it's not even technically September yet. But since we're here, I did make some chili this evening for dinner, so yay fall, I guess. But let's do a little chit chat about budgeting this year. So budgeting your money.
We are being priced out of livelihood. As someone living in America right now, I can't help but shape this feeling of hopelessness of the fact that they are trying to push us out. When you take a look at things such as the job market, housing market, the overall economy right now, the average person is literally suffering. We are far beyond telling people that they need to find a new job or they need to make more money because we have a system right now that is literally fighting tooth and nail to make that not happen.
For most people, I'm sure, has been kind of like a roller coaster, a difficult experience, because with the cost of goods and services going up, it changes things, and it seems like almost every day we're seeing something else go up in price, or something along those lines. And if you are not making large amounts of money, I do feel like that with all these changes, that budgeting your money is has almost become a new experience, or it can feel that way. Because if you're used to a steady income stream, making the same amount of money and having the same amount of bills for a long period of time, then, getting that money and paying your bills, things like that, kind of becomes habit. It kind of becomes regular, almost like you don't have to think about it, it just happens, right? Which is also one of the big things of being an adult. But when things like goods and services, so like your food and any type of services that you may entertain or use, once those prices go up but your income remains the same, or maybe you lose some or whatever, it definitely starts to make things a little bit more difficult. You're going to have to stretch a dollar further. You're going to have to pinch pennies. You may have to skimp out on some stuff, and people are still trying to navigate budgeting their money during the course of this year, and we're only halfway through. We still have the second half of the year to go, which is the big year, or the big half of the year, because it's the holiday season, and that's where they really get you. So it's really going to be interesting to see how everybody copes with that.
I get so sick and tired of seeing the financial advice being given on here because it just seems very tone deaf. Now, not everyone has the same level of financial security, which we already know, but some of y'all are telling people to budget and cut spending and this and that. You cannot cut spending or out budget a bad economy. Like we're seeing in real time, massive layoffs, jobs not hiring, the smoke and mirrors being lifted, unemployment at an all-time high, and y'all are telling people to cut out coffee, or as if buying a coffee is gonna be the reason make or break the budget for this month. Like y'all are telling people to cut everything they do that brings them a little bit of joy in this messed up world, as if that's going to do anything. Like I seen a person saying that rich people right now are not spending, they're saving everything they have. And the truth is, rich people are still confused if we're in a recession or not. They're still investing, they're still moving as if nothing's changed.
So a lot of people say, and you may agree with this, that you cannot budget your way out of this economy, and that also, we're set up to fail. And while it's could be true, we could be set up to fail, It may be that we're not supposed to be able to budget our way out of this economy, but me personally, I feel like, in my opinion, that having that mindset that we're set up to fail and that you cannot budget your way out of this economy is like a negative way of thinking that just kind of solidifies the idea that you're not going to make it, so just quit, just give up, just don't even try because you're set up to fail anyway. But that is not me. That's not the kind of person I am personally. So I would suggest, and this is what I do, I mean, it is hard to budget your money out here, especially if you're not getting any type of raise, especially if you don't have a second job or a side hustle or your own business or something that's producing some extra income. But you know what? You cannot just lay down and quit. A lot of us do not have the luxury to quit your job. You don't have the money to start a business. Maybe you don't even have the time to do a side gig or, something else that produces income. But in no way, shape, or form do I think that means that do not try to budget your money. If you have some income, I definitely would recommend trying to budget that, trying to make it work the best that you can. Because whether or not we're truthfully set up to fail, you have to try to overcome that if you can. So I feel like while things may be difficult now, that hopefully there will be a turnaround somewhere, hopefully sooner rather than later. And if we just persevere through this hardship, these tough times, hopefully don't get any worse, that things will turn around for the better, hopefully, or we'll make a breakthrough, and we can get back to being able to sustain ourselves comfortably at the very least, and we can kind of start enjoying ourselves and or our money. If you have worked, if you have had income in at least the last 10 years, you will for sure, you can't sit here and say that you don't notice the difference, like that your money is not going as far as it used to, because it did. The money used to go a lot further just a handful of years ago or less. So it's things are definitely getting tighter for a lot of people, but I don't think giving up is the option. And I think something that is going to become a trending thing, or something that would be popular, say if you wanted to do like social media or whatever and try to get you some coin from there, is to do like some type of budgeting, real budgeting content, whether that's showcasing cheap meals, or doing something in relation to trying to budget financials for hardships, because this is where a lot of us are at. So I did just want to touch on this because I think a lot of people are starting to really feel the crunch, like I said, because we're getting close to the holiday season, and that's where people's money comes into play. That's where they want you to spend your money. That's where people wants to have the money, because you want to celebrate the holidays, have all the nice things, and have the time and the money to vacation and visit your family and things like that. This is the crunch time, and this is where people's really going to start feeling the effects of inflation and recession and high prices and things like that.